Hello, welcome back to Pixelmon Beyond. This is me, Zobymaruu, and here we are, back again on the Pixelmon Beyond server. Some building has been done, not too crazily, sorta. We have the start of our cathedral. The inside is not even, started at all. But this thing is, in the clouds. Maybe they, shouldn't be in the clouds so we can actually see what we're doing. But look at this thing. I'm actually, kind of digging this part. The bottom part here at the front, I'm not the happiest with, much at all. But if we get a flight up here into the sky, we can see the roof kind of morphs together with the walls, which needs to be changed. There's changes that can be made to this thing. But I'm kind of digging it. Kind of feeling something here. There may or may not be a marriage in here once it is completed. That's a bright yellow young goose. Young goose? Yeah. I thought that was a shiny. But I'm kind of thinking that for the interiors, this is going to be a giant U-shaped building. All the building up here is going to be connected, so the back of this thing isn't going to have a back. It's just going to continue on a long ways and then circle back. And I was thinking the insides could be different colors all throughout the building. So the exterior will stay this kind of red, gray, kind of monochromatic color scheme. There's a couple blocks missing here. And then the inside, once you go in, it's going to be a completely different kind of thing where everything is super colorful and bright and happy. And it's going to be, I think it's going to turn out really nice. But the purpose of today's video is today is the tournament day. It's our first tournament of the server, and the rules goes as follows. You must have 6 Pokemon, level 25. They all must be capable of evolution still. No Megas, Z-moves, Dynamax, Legendaries, Ultra Beasts, Ubers. Must be wild-caught pokes. There can be no more than 2 perfect IVs on each individual poke. No egg moves, and then something called Standard Smogon rule set, which basically means you can't have more than 1 Pokemon asleep on the enemy team at any given time. You can't use evasion increasing abilities. You can't use one-hit knockout moves. You can't have the ability Moody, and you cannot purposely make the battle last as long as possible. There are also some Pokemon banned and some abilities banned, but we don't really care about that since we're not top tier elites. We don't really worry too much about that kind of stuff. So I need to go through my pokes and figure out which is going to be best for us to take, and following the rule set, of course. And the arena itself needs to be built. Now, King Tuthmosis has stepped up to have his base be the arena for it, and he asked us to help him out with it. So while I'm working on our team here, I am going to go help out King, and we're going to build a cool little redstone contraption with them.
What's up, bud?
King, what is up?
Okay, so what I need help with is I built an arena in the basement of my place.
Okay.
And I put lamps behind the players so that you could see how many fainted Pokemon they have. And right now they're just manually flick on a lever here and there. I'd like for the player to step or push a button so each lamp turns off as one faints.
Okay.
Kind of like they do in the television series.
Okay. I see how it is. I will be there in 32 shakes of a lamb's tail.
I'm not important enough for 31, huh?
Yeah.
Got it.
Ooh. Look at this place.
You likey?
Likey.
Okay, so these things back here.
Okay.
So I made it so one person could stand on each side and flick the lever every time a person's Pokemon faints.
Okay.
But ideally, I'd much rather have it around here so the person can either like spin back here, hit the button every time one of theirs faints, so the opposing player.
When you're mid-battle,
could,
you can't leave the battle to hit a button.
No, I know that, but I'm saying like, even if it's like some person,
Someone else.
yeah, to
Okay.
where they only have to push one button instead of go, hey, this guy fainted, that guy fainted, this guy fainted, you know,
Right.
just to make it a little more simplistic.
So I have an idea. It might take a little finagling.
You lost me at finagling. I don't do redstone, bro.
I see. If I do this, then I grab a lever, grab a button. So now, this might not work with 6. This will only work up to 5.
But isn't the tournament with 6 though?
Yeah. So, it might take some more finagling.
And before everybody comes down here and these two little machines just lag everyone. What did he throw?
So there's 6. Whoa.
Huh? What was that?
What? What?
Why is it doing that?
What? That? Huh?
That was weird. It went from single all the way through the first cycle, and then it went like every other.
I think it's probably because I went too fast. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
walk through your blocks here.
Right.
Hey, King, check me out. Goodbye.
You're so easily distracted.
Goodbye, King. Let me just crawl through your vents here. I just have the vent cleaning task. Don't mind me. Hi. So I want to take a moment to explain how this redstone contraption works for the lights. What happens is I have 6 cobblestone pieces in here, and whenever the button gets pressed, this torch gets turned off for a moment, which unpowers all the hoppers. And that lets one item into this first hopper, which unpowers this light. Then as it continues on, each item moves over by 1. And that makes it so that each light has 1 item in them, skipping this one because there's no light in the middle. Until all 6 are off. Then, when we hit the reset button, this gets retracted, and all of them get unpowered until they all circle back into the first one again, ready to be used again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For some reason, that light turns on when getting to the end. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Kind of adds character to it, but whatever. And then, like I said, the reset button just activates some lines down here. There's a piston behind this block here, which I just broke the redstone for it. Which activates, it pushes out this redstone block into this line, which sends off the signal, and this is just a pulse extender that goes in another one to keep it going long enough for all of the items to filter through. So you can see it lasts for a decent amount of time. And that resets it all the way back to full. So with the arena constructed, we now have our team selected. You can see on the left there, we have Quilladin, Breakson, Warturtle, Pikachu, Grimer, and a Girder. And this was chosen with the help of Jodor, who told us what he thought would be best based on what I had. Then I had Wells Knight come and refine it a little bit more. So, look at that little guy. We got items on it if you really care, you know, I don't know. This makes it so that you get more defense if you're not using status moves, only attacking moves. This, I don't even know what it does. Leftovers heals you up a little bit. Light Ball doubles Pikachu's attack and special attack. Black Sludge makes that poison Pokemon heal every turn. And Eviolite increases its defense. So we're just gonna go full on attack with this Quilladin. You know, kind of do the best we can. I'm just gonna go through these really quickly and get on with the point. These are what we have. Some of these Pokemon appear in Generation 8, which means we can't use TMs on them, which is kind of frustrating because we would have to use TRs, which, let's see here. Where are these things? Here they are. You have to craft up a blank and then put it on a poke that already knows the move that you want. And then make the Pokemon hold it and then use it a bunch of times. And I didn't have time for that, so this is the team that we're going to use. Pikachu and and Girder are the ones that appear in Generation 8. And we couldn't get Drain Punch or Thunderbolt or I think it was Volt Switch for Pikachu. I just never got around to it. Maybe we'll do better next time. I also didn't even look at the IVs or EVs of any of my pokes. I just kind of went with it and kind of winged it. So, we're going to go do the tournament now, and hopefully we do well.
Zoby, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, I guess.
Okay.
So by the way, you can do this.
Yeah, I was about to ask him to use the command there.
All right. So
Nice,
just
that's
team
nice.
preview, and then that's about it.
Hop down to the,
Zoby,
actual.
Eventually they'll
Hop
hit each
down
other,
the
don't worry
wall.
about it.
Hop down to the wall.
You know,
Wait.
one person throw first, let them on stare, then throw the next. There we go. Never mind.
Nice joke.
And
I
damn
love how
it,
you guys
Vixen.
seem to have done this before. Wait.
There.
Classic.
Oh, there we go. The team preview's got to be on, you said.
Team preview.
Yeah.
Yep, team preview's on.
What else are you doing?
That's it.
Okay.
All your mons should be at
Good
level
balls.
25 set already, so...
There's two. There's
I
more
see that my
turtles.
hunter is not like healed up.
If you
I
want, we
guess
can
one-
restart.
can-
Hey, I win the
just got
battle.
kicked.
And you bring in
Houndoom.
Houndoom. Interesting
What can
choice.
Houndoom evolve into?
Mega Houndoom?
Illegal Pokemon.
Did Dutch not even mean to evolve it?
Again.
All right.
Hold on. Put on a pumpkin of shame.
And I win another forfeit.
All right.
I am
well,
Winner!
So now we got past those fumbles of the first two attempts. Dutch finally got himself a team that follows the rules. Now this isn't a team that he's built, it's just pokes that he randomly had in his PC. So we're gonna do pretty well because ours is actually slightly prepared. He starts with a reboot and I start with my breaks in. And I think it's a good idea to set up my light screen, which makes it so that for 8 turns, I take half damage from all special type attack. He's going to stomp a bunch over and over, and I'm going to try out the Psychic because I think that Reboot is part fighting type, which Psychic would be super effective against. But in fact, Reboot is only fire, so it didn't do too much damage. It almost did half. So I try and bring out my War Turtle to bring out the type advantage of the water over fire. And he goes for the stomp again. So I try and go for Water Pulse, but I should have predicted that he would have switched out to something else and use a different move, but I wasn't really thinking too clearly during the fight. So I tried Bite, thinking it would be super effective against Skorupi because it's part poison, but it's actually super effective against Psychic instead, so that was another mistake. So Skorupi survives my last Water Pulse with a sliver of health, and he sets up the Toxic Spikes, which I thought I could take out and finish off the Skorupi by using Rapid Spin. But then he switches to a Frillish, which is part Ghost type, and Rapid Spin being normal doesn't affect it. So I start biting the Frillish over and over again. Luckily, it flinched the first bite, because when it used its Shadow Ball, that did a large chunk of my HP. So luckily I outsped the Frillish, otherwise he might have killed me. But then Frillish's Cursed Body ability disabled my bite, and he brings out another Ghost type in Haunter, which I would like to bite more, but I can't because it got disabled. So then I brought out my Grimer, which being poison type, it subvertedly absorbed the Toxic Spikes, which I didn't know it did that. I don't think anyone else caught that it did that. I tried out Substitute at first, but that was a mistake. Luckily it didn't cost me too much, but I should have just went for the bites right off the bat.
Maybe.
Oh.
I'll try to find him.
Haunter
Rainbow
goes
doesn't
down.
have teeth. What?
He gummed him to death. So I switch out to Quilladin to get the 4 times type effectiveness against Rhyhorn, since it's effective against both rock and ground. And went for Needle Arm, but I should have predicted that he would have switched again. And he switched to his Reboot, which is strong against grass, so that was another small mistake, but, you know, those happen. Luckily, I take it out using Stone Edge. Then I started sweeping his team by one-shotting his Electrike with Needle Arm and surviving with 3 HP. Then he brings out the Rhyhorn anyway, and I'm able to one-shot that again with Needle Arm. And then one final Needle Arm to finish off the battle.
All right.
I win.
Damn.
Wait, was that a 6-0 victory?
That is a
Yeah.
6-0 victory for
Wow.
Zobymaruu.
So now for our second battle, we are versing Gingy, or the true Ginger Shadow. He starts with a Delphox, and I start with my Quilladin, which is a very bad matchup for me. So immediately I try and switch to my Wartortle to get the type advantage, and he gets a free flamethrower off on me. It takes off 1/3 of my health. And his Breakson's Magician ability stole my Wartortle's leftovers, so I can't actually heal anymore, which really is kind of crummy. Next, he sends out a Feraligatr into my Wartortle, so we're both water types. And I whiffed Protect to try and see what he would do with his Delphox, which again was a really, really bad mistake because I had the type advantage. So I should have went for an attacking move. I don't have a good move against the Croconaw, so I go into my Quilladin, and he uses a Swords Dance to try and power himself up. I thought I could survive a hit, so I go for the Needle Arm and deal about half his HP, and he just one-shots me with Ice Punch, which has the type advantage. So I go into my Pikachu, which is my only other Pokemon that has the type advantage against him. And I should have used Nuzzle to try and stun any Pokemon that he sends in against it, but it doesn't matter anyway because he goes into Gliscor, which is part ground, which is completely immune to electric. And I have nothing I can do to that thing because all my only other attack is Quick Attack, which isn't going to do anything. So I try to bring back the Wartortle to try and get the type advantage of water over ground. So he's kind of scared of my Wartortle because he doesn't know what it can have, but I'm not really built that well anyway. So he brings in his Roselia, and now I'm on the bad typing again. So I probably should have switched to my Breaksin, but I go to Grimer instead for some reason, and he hurts me really bad. So I try and go for Poison Jab, and it doesn't matter because he just defeats me anyway. Now I go in for the Breaksin, and he switches to his Delphox, which is an interesting decision. So now it's Breaksin on Breaksin action. His is actually better set up because his has Wish, so he can heal himself over time. And I'm not really able to do anything to him, so he sets up his Light Screen. I thought maybe I could take out his Breaksin by using Psychic, but he uses Wish to keep himself alive. And he's able to set up light screens and everything he needs. I even got the crit on my second Psychic, but since he set up his light screen, it only dealt half damage, so he's able to survive easily. So I thought I could switch to my Girder, but that was actually a mistake because Psychic is super effective against my Girder's fighting type. I don't think he expected my Girder to be as bulky as it was because it was holding an Eviolite, so it survived fairly easily, and I was able to take out his Breaksin using Rock Slide. So he brings out his Roselia, and I switch to my Breaksin again, so I can try and get the type advantage over it. So I try and go for the cheeky Psychic, but he switches out to his Mischievous, and then I use Will-O-Wisp to try and whittle it down, while he continues to whittle me down using Hex, eventually taking down my Breaksin. So I bring out my Pikachu thinking it would be faster than his Mischievous, and I use Thundershock, but he completely countered it and shut me down with his Gliscor. He's immune to electric completely. Now we're going full circle, where I bring out my Wartortle into his Gliscor, so he realizes that all of his Pokemon kind of outspeed all of mine, like no matter what. And he just knocks me off with his Gliscor and finishes off my Wartortle. At this point, Girder is the only Pokemon that I have any kind of chance left, so I bring him in, and I realize that my Rock Slide doesn't deal any damage. My Slam also doesn't deal any damage, and he's just going to finish me off the next turn anyway. And my Pikachu is completely useless against Gligar, And he decides to just bring out his golem just to play with me because I can't affect him and defeats me with the earthquake. And then I lose. There's no way I can win.
Yeah, do something.
It's not permanently. The item comes
Oh, it
back once
doesn't
the
even
fight's
start.
over.
Okay.
No!
Good game.
Huzzah!
Earthquake.
That was
Genji, how many?
GG, guys.
So we are a loser. Oh no! We'll get him next time. Yeah. I just want to sincerely thank King for making that arena for us all to use. And make sure you definitely go and support the other battlers from the tournament. And go watch their perspectives too. I think looking back that I would have wanted a Gligar because that seemed like a really good poke to use. The ground and flying out, I didn't have any ground moves, and ground is an excellent attacking move, so I really should have had it. And same thing with flying type moves. But yeah, that's experience learned for next time, and we'll make sure to make use of that. What is this? Heard you're looking for red flowers. Tilted. I was looking for red flowers for this planter over here. For that planter. So I wonder if these turn red. I can try them out. Pomeg, Rost, Pasho. I don't really know what these look like when they're fully grown. They kind of don't look red in your inventory, but we can plant them and see how they turn out. So, I guess we gotta wait for them to grow up. And I'll plant a Rost, and I will plant a Pasho. So, thank you. I'll make sure to save some of these just in case. But yeah, we'll definitely do better next time, hopefully. Let me know of any cool strategies or things you would like me to try out. Or if you liked having the battling in general, I have more battles I could show in later videos. So make sure you comment below if you want to see those. Maybe I could put them at the end of the next few videos or whatever you want. But until next time, I will keep on building. And I'd just like to say thanks for watching. And until next time, cheerio.